Everyone expected Mahomes, Allen, maybe even Lamar, but halfway through the season, it's a running back stealing the spotlight.
He's chased by Surtain and Singleton and Hufanga. Oh, what a run! 69!
Jonathan Taylor isn't just putting up numbers.
To the races, a foot race with Surtain. Here comes Hufanga.
He's carrying an entire franchise on his back.
Everyone's just trying to figure out what kind of player you are, and it's up to you to continue to keep working to try to become the best player you can be.
And if history repeats itself, we might be watching the first non-quarterback MVP since 2012.
Makes a man miss to his right. Spin move, a beauty, inside the 30. High step into the 25, inside the 10, into the end zone.
Because right now, Taylor's doing something no quarterback can. Growing up in Salem, New Jersey, Taylor was a generational track star. In high school, he won 2 state titles in the 100-meter dash with a best time of 10.49 seconds. In another life, he could have been an Olympic sprinter, but somehow, he was an even better football player. As a senior, he shattered the New Jersey record with 2,815 rushing yards. He averaged over 230 yards a game and scored 37 touchdowns, ultimately winning the Jim Henry Award, given to the best player in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. With one of the greatest high school football seasons of all time, you'd think that every college in the world wanted him. But instead, 247 Sports rated Taylor as a 3-star prospect and the 24th highest ranked back in the class of 2017. Originally, he committed to play college football at Rutgers. Yet, he later switched his decision to Wisconsin. Wisconsin had a history of NFL running backs, from Monty Ball and James White to Melvin Gordon and Corey Clement.
Ball shakes and bakes at the 5. Monty Ball.
To White, working the left side, inside the 10, splits a tackle to the 5, right to the end zone.
Sideline, Melvin Gordon still running. And 9.
Despite this, Taylor was about to be in a league of his own.
Going back to throw.
From the second he stepped onto Wisconsin's practice field, coaches knew he was different. After fall camp in 2017, Jonathan Taylor earned a starting spot as a true freshman. And in his very first college game, he made sure everyone knew his name: 9 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. But the next week, he went nuclear.
Here's Taylor picking his way forward. Taylor breaks into the clear, and the freshman off to the races. The touchdown for the Badgers.
On 26 carries, he rushed for 223 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Here is Taylor. He busts to the outside, and Jonathan Taylor has the...
Fans thought this couldn't possibly be topped. But then came week 5 against Nebraska, 249 yards. Suddenly, he wasn't just a star. He was a Heisman frontrunner.
The 25. Taylor with the carry. Taylor with running room. And Jonathan Taylor breaks into the clear.
And by October, in just his 7th collegiate game, he'd already hit 1,000 yards rushing, tying legends like Emmitt Smith, Marshall Faulk, and Adrian Peterson as the fastest players ever to reach that milestone. By season's end, Taylor had nearly 2,000 rushing yards, the most ever by a freshman in NCAA history. He was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year, a consensus all Big Ten selection, and finished 6th in Heisman voting. But he was just getting started. In 2018, he exploded out of the gate.
Got a gap to show off the speed. Taylor breaks the tackle. Taylor down the edge for the touchdown.
Rushing for nearly 400 yards through the first 2 games. Then, on November 17, he put the unthinkable, a career-high 321 yards.
As Jonathan Taylor gets the carry, and Taylor with a hole. Taylor spins away. Taylor still...
By the end of his sophomore year, he'd led the entire country in rushing, over 2,190 yards, 16 touchdowns, and a Doak Walker Award as the best running back in college football. His final college season was more of the same. He broke Herschel Walker's record for the most rushing yards through a junior season, and once again rushed for over 2,000 yards. He ended his college career 4th on the all-time rushing yards list, despite only playing 3 seasons. With arguably the greatest 3-year running back stretch in college football history, Taylor should have been a lock to be a first-round pick. There was only one small problem. Jonathan Taylor was a fumbling machine. In 3 years, he had 18 fumbles, more than any running back in the draft class. This shouldn't have mattered, but when you have 3 years worth of tape, it's easy for scouts to find weaknesses. Plus, scouts were worried that he had too much mileage. In college, he averaged over 300 carries per season, and when draft night came, he wasn't even a first-round pick. Better yet, he wasn't even the first running back taken. He was picked after Clyde Edwards-Helaire and DeAndre Swift. But with the 41st pick of the second round, he finally heard his name. It was the Indianapolis Colts.
Call him and let's see if we can see if he'll do it.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the 41st pick to the Indianapolis Colts. With the 41st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Jonathan Taylor.
But when JT made his NFL debut, he wasn't even the starter. He was the backup to Marlon Mack. Little did he know, this wouldn't last long. The day after the first game, it was revealed that Mack had suffered a torn Achilles tendon. Just like that, Taylor was the starting running back for the rest of the season. And just like college, he went to work, rushing for over 100 yards in his first ever NFL start.
And more, inside the 5, still going.
And that's when he shocked everyone, rushing for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Taylor into the open field, inside the 20. Taylor makes moves, there he goes! He's got 200 yards, and he's got a touchdown!
He didn't just break the Colts franchise record for most rushing yards in a game, it was the 9th highest rushing game ever. By the end of the season, he finished 3rd in the league in rushing yards. And best of all, only fumbled once. That's when the 2000s, racking up a league-high 1,811 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns, both league highs. From weeks 4 to 11, he had 8 straight games with 100-plus yards and at least 1 rushing touchdown. It was so dominant that he ended the season more than 500 yards ahead of the second-place rushing yards leader, Nick Chubb.
It's a tackle right there, Poyer.
Heading into his 3rd season, fans expected more of the same, but that's when things took a turn for the worse. In week 4 against the Titans, Taylor suffered an ankle injury, and a week later, JT missed his first ever game at any level. So when he returned, fans figured this would be a one-time thing. But in week 15, history repeated itself. JT suffered a season-ending high ankle sprain. In 11 games, he failed to reach 900 yards. Heading into 2023, fans wondered whether they would get a healthy JT. It didn't take long to find out. He was placed on the physically unable to perform list and missed the first 4 games of the season. That's when things reached a boiling point. See, JT wanted to sign a long-term contract, but the Colts, not so much. They only won 4 games the previous season. So after a contract standoff, Taylor requested a trade. Following this, the Colts and JT reached an agreement. 3 years for $42 million. Only, fans weren't thrilled, because he ended up having his worst season yet with less than 800 rushing yards and 7 missed games.
Touchdown!
But in 2024, JT proved the doubters wrong once more, returning to peak form and rushing for over 1,400 yards. However, Taylor still wasn't satisfied. The Colts missed the playoffs for the 4th straight season, and Taylor had yet to win a playoff game. And it seemed like 2025 would be more of the same after the Colts signed the laughingstock of the league, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones has been named the starter for week 1. This is fine. Everything's fine. Oh, it's not just for week 1. Daniel Jones is starting for the season.
Everyone thought the Colts were going to be a joke, but against all odds, the Colts beat the Dolphins to open the season. Then, in week 2, against the playoff-bound Broncos, Taylor popped off with 215 yards from scrimmage. A week later, he had over 100 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Suddenly, the Colts were 3-0 and the talk of the league. Over the next 5 weeks, Taylor scored a league-high 10 touchdowns.
By another, always off to the races. A foot races for 10. Here comes a thunder.
And as it stands, through 9 weeks, the Colts boast a league-high 7 wins. The guy who everyone wrote off, Daniel Jones, is easily having the best year of his career. Meanwhile, Taylor has a league-high 895 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns. Through 9 games, he already has over 1,100 yards from scrimmage. Expand that to a full 17-game season, and JT is on pace for over 2,100 scrimmage yards and 26 touchdowns. Just like Saquon Barkley carried the Eagles to a Super Bowl victory last season, Taylor seems to be doing the same thing this season. He's making everyone's job around him so much easier. In the 5 games where he has rushed for at least 90 yards, the Colts are 5-0. In the 6 games where he has scored a touchdown, the Colts are also undefeated. And ultimately, one can't help but wonder, is it time a non-quarterback finally wins MVP? In the last 25 years, only 4 non-quarterbacks have won MVP, and all of them have been running backs. So, if anyone other than a quarterback can win MVP, it's Jonathan Taylor. But even if JT doesn't win MVP, he's proving a point about the broader running back market. While running backs like Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott have fizzled out in the past, that still doesn't represent all running backs. Guys like Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Jonathan Taylor have shown that running backs can be dominant well into their second contract. Say he can't, just remember, this is not a normal running back you're witnessing greatness.